don't miss the biggest nights in MMA.
We are now set for the main event. Ronaldo with the shot. Let's go. One of the greats. Champions of the world.
There's all to play for, which is so exciting. These teams have to come in here and give it their all.
Have a real nice tempo. Goes baseline, watch out.
Oh, my!
Oh, baby! All the way down the runway for a big-time throwdown.
That's a lot of fans out there.
Look at that. The drama keeps continuing, Jenny.
This is just brilliant.
He strikes.
Starts as you mean to go on.
But this is the danger of the top two guys, and that nuclear weapon that is.
Oh, hello, goodbye. Score! In the back of the net. And shoots. Score!
Of Serie A action. We'll bring you so much of it here on DAZN.
Magnificent. That is tremendous.
Catching up on any NFL game is easier than ever before.
Going deep for it all. Devontae Smith. He has got it. Touchdown.
Your Eagles are world champions again.
DAZN is the home of boxing.
Really spurs you on, gets you going. Let's make history. Pure power. There's no way back from this, surely.
The following program is recommended for those 16 and over, as it contains sporting violence, possible bad language, and flashing imagery.
This is the moment the world has been waiting for. The judges are ready, the fighters are ready, the boxing world is ready.
The fight starts now!
Let's go.
How do you like it? On the show.
So aggressive, so focused.
It all comes down to this. Press conference live on DAZN.
Guten Tag and welcome to Meerbusch on the outskirts of Düsseldorf here in Germany. On Saturday night, Agit Kabayel puts his WBC interim heavyweight title on the line as he pursues a shot at Alexander Usyk in 2026. After 3 spectacular performances on the road in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, it's a homecoming for Kabayel to prove he's ready for the biggest title fight in boxing's marquee division. It's press conference day, so we'll get a chance to hear from the fighters ahead of Saturday's busy night of boxing. Let's see if we get a war of words before they go to war in the ring. Well, this is what they're trying to do, is get to the top there, and Agit Kabayel sitting nicely in number 2. Very, very important here against a dangerous challenger. Many in the trade are calling this a potential banana skin in Damian Knyba. Rangy, powerful, very, very good fighter, but great to see big-time boxing back in Germany. Been searching for its next star for a long, long time now. Is Agit Kabayel that man? Form is very impressive. Been looking very good. A complete fighter. But it's time now to get this job done and move on. But as I say, Damian Knyba, a man who has ambitions to go all the way himself, pursue his dream of becoming a world champion. So much to look forward to. You can see the top table there. some of the undercard fighters. Matt Bergman. Yeah, must win for both in tonight's Saturday night's main event. Poland versus Germany. Well, I think we're ready to get this show on the road, so let's throw it over to Mark Berman.
Sehr geehrte Medienvertreter, liebe Boxsportfreunde, diesen Samstag will Queensberry Promotion gemeinsam mit Goldstar Promotion, Top Rank und DAZN eine neue Ära des Boxsports in Deutschland einleiten, wenn unser Weltmeister Agit Kabayel in der ausverkauften Rudolf Weber Arena in Oberhausen vor 13.000 Zuschauern seinen Titel gegen den ungeschlagenen Damian Knyba aufs Spiel setzt. Das Ganze präsentiert von BWin, Fotem, Global Next Trade und Topgolf Oberhausen. Sie sehen das Vorprogramm ab 16 Uhr kostenfrei auf YouTube, auf dem YouTube-Kanal von DAZN und das Hauptprogramm im Pay-Per-View für 9,99 € ab 18:45 Uhr auf der DAZN-Plattform live. Das sollte nicht verpassen, das ist History in the Making. Ich weiß nicht, you shouldn't miss it. It's history in the making. And I warmly welcome you to our opening press conference. It's going to take part in 2 sections. You see, for the first section today we have some people from the undercard, and then the second we're going to have people from the main card tomorrow, and you'll have an opportunity to ask questions. I'd like to introduce our undercard participants. On the left hand side, Kevin Sasik. He's going to be meeting Rob. Look, we had another opponent planned for Saturday, but 2 of them unfortunately couldn't take part, so we had to improvise there. But I wish everybody success. It's a very exciting fight ahead of us. Daniel Dietz, he's a world champion in kickboxing since 2021. He's been in main boxing, and that's a great contest for him. And he's going to meet the Austrian champion and Tiafack, Nelvie Tiafack. I suppose we won't have to introduce him. For most of you, he got the bronze medal, and he's meeting Petar Milas. He also boxes without gloves, and you see him on the stage 2. And of course, some people from the co-event are also present here today. I would also like to open the press conference with Kevin Sasik. And Kevin, I've just said that it probably wasn't a very easy day for you. You were preparing for a specific opponent. And as I was saying, you were preparing for a specific opponent. Now you've got a different opponent just a few days before the event. I think on Monday you got the news that your fight had been changed. Could you tell us something about your feelings when you got this news? Well, first of all, thank you that so many people have turned up today. Thanks to Queensberry and to Agit for opening the door to all of us and to me. I was supposed to meet Patrick Schaefer, and I was preparing for him, for the fight with him, for several months, of course. And then on Monday, I got the news that he had a muscle injury, and well, I just can only wish him now a speedy recovery. And I know that I'm going to meet Robin Ock. That came quite spontaneous, that news, but I'm still looking forward to it very, very much. Every fight is different, every fight is a major challenge, and I'm ready to meet all opponents, bring them all. Okay, same question for Robin, for you. You were preparing to meet David Adelaide from Great Britain, and he was on the card until a few days ago, so the change was very short term for you too. Now you're going to meet Kevin. How do you feel that he's a local hero, of course, you're going to be up against? Yes, for me, it was more or less the same. I was going to substitute for David Adelaide, but then he dropped out yesterday afternoon, actually, and then since yesterday evening, I heard that I'm going to have to fight this bout, but I'm quite prepared for it. Okay, I think a big round of applause for them is deserved. They were very spontaneous, very flexible to show that they're able to switch to a new opponent at such short notice. I'd like now to continue to Granit Shala. It was a very turbulent year for you too. You were the big noise in German heavyweight, and then you had a bit of a fault. You know, I think when you speak to people around you, your promoters and your friends, they say that now in training you're even more disciplined than you were before. I'm not saying that you weren't like that before, but I think you're taking everything a bit more seriously now. You've got a few very important victories in the meantime, but I'd like to hear you. How about this defeat you had there? How important was it? Well, first of all, I'd like to thank for the opportunity to be here. Thanks for Queensberry and for Agit and his team. Yes, you know, I'd believing too strongly in all of these phrases for a long time, but then when you're on the ground, you get a new lesson coming to you, and I just had to prove myself anew again, and I just had to accelerate a bit, had to give in more energy and prepare for this fight, which I know I'm going to win on Saturday. Thank you very much indeed. Petar Milas is your opponent. We had a look at him yesterday. There's a lot of data and information. He makes quite a good impression, and he's not here, unfortunately, today. Does that annoy you? Well, I don't really care too much. The most important thing is he turns up on Saturday. That's all, you know. I've really had good training of great sparring partners. I've been able to prepare for this with my usual determination and discipline, and that's why I think we're all looking forward to that. You know, there were a few parties going out. Some people took them with caution. You know, we realized we have to keep very, very fit, stay strong, disciplined, and concentrate and focused for the bouts on Saturday. So we're all prepared, each for his own opponent, and as I said, Saturday, bring it on. In Fortman, your promoter said that you're physically and mentally in the top form, best form of your life. So on Saturday, of course, it's going to be a big bout for you. 13,000 people are going to be watching one of the biggest fights in the last few years here in Germany. What does that do for you mentally, and how fit are you going to be? I'm talking about psychologically. Well, definitely it is a big challenge for me now. About my mind and my psychology, I don't know. I can say that myself and my team have really turned everything positive, really to see this as a great challenge, to play on this great platform here in Germany before a great event and not before half-empty stadia or whatever, you know. On Saturday, we know that we have to rise to the occasion. That's just the big challenge. That's the big spur we need, and I just take it all on board, and I'm going to go straight ahead on Saturday. Great, Granit. Now, a fight that really fell below the radar in the media recently, but could be a big event, most likely will be. That's Daniel Dietz and his opponent, and both know each other from their sparring sessions together. So I'd like to start with you. No, you didn't really know until a certain time that you're going to meet each other in the ring. Okay, first of all, I'd like to say I'm glad to be here, and when I see all this, the big interest here, the great attention, I know that German boxing is alive, and I think with all our support, with our sponsors, with our promoters, everything is going to work out. Now, we've been working together, as you said, in sparring. We got to know each other in many, many ways over the last few years, so we know each other, and we know we're not going to play around on Saturday. We're all going to go for it, and we're going to have to wait and see now. Okay, so you're not making any fixed predictions. I'd like to ask you now, the opponent, is there any advantage here that you know him so well, or is it maybe a disadvantage because maybe he knows your weak points too? I'd like to thank all of you for the opportunity to be here, for Jesus Christ for my health, and the opportunity to box on Saturday. Of course, sparring is a great thing, but it's been on and off, I suppose, now. I learned a lot from that, but it wasn't really continuous. And since then, since last time we were sparring together, we've each developed in his own way, so we're just going to have to see how each of us profited from these sparring sessions. Okay, I'd like to ask you, when you're meeting a great, or when you do a few rounds with such a big star, I'd like to ask you, what does that do to your own sense of trust in yourself and confidence? Well, of course, it depends on how you take it, but I see it as a challenge which supports my self-confidence. You know, sparring, of course, is very different from the bout in the ring, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, Daniel, you've been around in fights for a long time. You were in boxing for a long time, but also before that you were in kickboxing. Maybe a lot of people out there don't know that boxing isn't just kickboxing without the kicks. You know, I'd like to ask you, what is the difference? How do you have to change your strategy, your techniques with this change? Well, of course, kickboxing, of course, there's certain exceptions, but generally you open the door with a crowbar. You've got low kicks, you just got to concentrate on the legs and you win that way. At boxing you just have to get your key right, and it's much more technique, much more fine work, much more precision and concentration. Like with pure brutality and speed is great, of course, but you don't really get too far. You don't get all the way, at least, with those characteristics. It's not just hit left, right, harder, quicker. You have to realize what is the task of each blow, of each strike you give, and how do you get capital out of it? How do you get short-term and long-term gains from each blow you land on the other boxer? And since I've been doing boxing, I must say I'm totally in love with this sport. It's a great sport, it's a fun sport, and I'm really glad to be doing that, you know. I used to have a lot to do, I suffered a lot from mobbing. I've had to do actually therapy to get that behind me and to be able to find ways to handle that. But now I believe I'm in a position where I can really do what my very best and show what I can do and show that all that's inside me. I'm really glad to be able to do this on such a famous platform. Very strong statement. Thank you, Daniel. Now, to you, the bout is set for 6 rounds. And because, you know, when you're at the beginning of your career, that you normally build up the number of rounds. But for you, maybe it's a step backwards. Do you think it's maybe better that you've got 6, or would you have preferred to have more time? Well, actually, I prefer to fight longer. Then you can read the opponent better, you can get to know him better. The technical aspect is maybe more important, and I like that. But still, I've done 12 with good speed. 6, I think I'll be able to give it my all in a more concentrated and a focused way. I've had a great career behind me. 9-0 for bouts or victories. And I'm going to, as I said, give it my all. It's going to be a great bout, full power for six rounds. Okay, now we were just talking about the sparring partners, and Agit started also acting as sparring partner for a lot of fighters. I'd like to ask you, how motivated are you by that kind of story? How can you learn from that in terms of discipline and your mental preparation? Well, you can really learn a lot from it, because in 2024 I met him and we sparred together, and you know, he defined my fight really well at that early stage, you know, because he goes at it really with the same seriousness and focus and concentration that he does with his own fights. And I think we can all be grateful to him for that. Okay, Nelvie Tiafack. Nelvie, your story, I think everybody around here has been following it, is at least in some way familiar with it. It's been in the media for a long time, and we've had no boxer who won a medal in such a great way that you did. So you are the most, got the most prestige prize there in that weight class. And of course, they asked you about your professional career. When does it start? And you said you're going to go professional as quickly as possible, but then you got very quiet. I think it was in May of last year that we saw your first professional bout. So I'd like to ask you, why did you take such a break there? Well, first of all, before I speak about myself, I'd like to express my very deep and sincere gratitude to Agit Kabayel. We're all grateful, we're all in debt to him. He defined boxing in Germany for a long time. He's prepared this great platform for all of us. I've known him for a long time. And the same gratitude I should also express to his entire team, because when you've got a team and even family around you, you know, they all take part, they all participate and contribute. So really, we are in debt to him, as I said. Now, I think he's a foreigner in Germany and he came to the very top, and that's a great motivation for me too. It's a challenge. He set the standards, and I'm more than proud that I can follow in his steps, at least to a certain extent. Now, the Olympic Games, yes, that gave me a great impetus for training to bring my body and mind in the right position where I wanted to go. And you know, I had so many fights, preparation every week. It was just a very focused, concentrated time, and of course even live fights inside a very short time. So it was all very concentrated and focused. And of course I was very happy to get the prize for all this work I've been doing. And I think people saw that then in my comeback, that I was physically and mentally, I could have been in a better position. It could have been better, you know, just to start at such a high level was not without difficulties. And now I've reached a stage, literally a stage, where I can be in front of 30,000 people, and to do that in Germany is really a great honor. Okay, as you said, the development is very quick. In Heidelberg it was good. The second one in Canada was international, and now in the Rudolf Weber Arena on Saturday, that's again a very, very big stage. So everything is going very quick for a young professional like you. I'd like to ask you, how do you think it's going to continue? Where do you see yourself in 2 years? Well, I'd like, of course, to climb up the ladder of my career a bit further, and I'm listening to my team. Jokos Sladicek, my trainer, he's been accompanying me in a great way for a long time, and he's made certain decisions for me which turned out to be all right. And I'd like also to recognize the assistance he gave to so many young sports people. But as far as I'm concerned, all I can say is I just want to nip up that career ladder as quickly as possible. Now, your fighting name, Schmidt, is it? Could you tell me where you got that name? Yep. Well, it's a long story where I got the name, but first of all, I'd like to thank everybody for the opportunity to be here. I know a lot of people have come a long way in the snow to be here, so thank you also to Queensberry Promotion, Top Rank, and everybody else who's here today who made this thing happen. And of course, the great organization for the event on Saturday with 13,000 people. That's just a mega show. And since Klitschko, we haven't seen anything like this in Germany. Now, Rubo, my name, well, I was thinking of, I'm going to do something now at 130 kilos when I started, and I was really in top 4, I thought. So, well, what I thought was an appropriate name. Now, you've experienced a lot in boxing. While I was introducing you, you know, you boxed also without gloves, the hardest discipline maybe in boxing. And I think you're one of the better technicians, as it were, in this weight category in Germany. And you got the semi-final and then got the medal. How do you do this? Well, you know, it's great to be among such wonderful people. You know, they all push you up and challenge you to make everything a little bit better, to invest a little bit more. And every boxer, the best even, has to give his all. And that's just a general rule for me and for everybody else. Okay, thank you. A round of applause. That now was the introduction. And I'm going to invite them now to a brief face-off, and then we're going to move on to the second part of the press conference. And again, I'd like to thank Agit Kabayel. Now, the rest of you can remain in your seats. I'd like to invite Kevin Sasek and Robin Hope.
Well, here is Kevin Sasek taking on Robin Hoch, the big punch in German, 8-1. Kevin Sasek 9-0 looking very good, an accomplished fighter. Change of opponent, as you heard, but extremely excited about what Saturday night has to offer. A chance to showcase his skills in with, as I say, a heavy hitter. A former kickboxer, Daniel Dietz, now 15-1 as a professional. Big puncher. 14 of those have come inside the distance. He's in there with Seun Salami, 9-0. Another heavy hitter, 7 of those inside the distance. This one certainly looks as if it will catch fire early. Big punchers on this card. And here is Olympic bronze medalist Nelvie Tiafack, and he's taking on the Polish roughhouse Petar Milas. And he's extremely excited about what the future has to hold. Is Tiafack a very talented fighter? The world at his feet. Stay tuned for the career of Nelvie Tiafack. That's some of the undercard fights done. Up next is our main event press conference. But before that, here's what Agit Kabayel had to say when we caught up with him in camp a few weeks ago.
People describe you as one of the most avoided heavyweights. Do you feel that's true? Are other fighters avoiding fighting you?
With this style and this motor, Kabayel looks to be a headache for anybody in the heavyweight division. Oh, the body shot again!
Kabayel is bullying the monster now.
It's the body shots that are undoing him. Agit Kabayel celebrating. It's done. Wow. It's done. What a statement.
The most impressive win of his career so far.
Before the Riyadh season, I fight in Germany only for 4,000 or 5,000 people. You know, and now I come back, I sell out the arena in 5-6 days. 12,000 people come in the arena. When I fight with all 3 guys, I'm the underdog, you know. I think now I'm on the map. Always, I believe in myself, you know, and I'm a hard worker, you know. Every fight you bring more, you know, you will make the best vision in yourself, you know. And every training you come level up. I think every fight bring you more, you are better than before. Motivation is good, you know, but I think in 1 month, 2 months, the motivation is not for the long time, I think so. Everything is discipline, you know, and I have a discipline. I hope one time I will be a world champion, you know, this is my dream. I train very hard. I train for my dream, and this is Agit Kabayel, I think. My coach is like my second father, you know. He see everything what I make, you know. When he see I make everything perfect, and he not talk so much, but when he see I make in the sparring time we have big problems. But in the condition and the muscle training, you know, I train hard, and everything is fine. Hard work, smart work, discipline. This is, my focus, my mentality. 26 fights was everything fine. Why not? Why I will change? Everything is perfect. I never lose. It's good. First about Damian Knyba, this is the first step, and after, why not the world title shot, huh? Whoever, for me it's no problem. I fight everyone, for me it's no problem. The first fight is in January. We have a long time in the year for the second fight. I fight in the year 3 times. For me it's no problem. I like fight. I train for this. This is my life. The situation is not easy. Not to give me the name. He say Kabayel is the boogeyman in the heavyweight division, huh? All guys in the heavyweight division will not fight with me. But Usyk gives the belt, and now is WBO champion Fabio Wardley. And we will see after my next fight what is the situation, But first about I fight with Damian. After my fight, maybe we will see what comes in the future. Now my motivation is my family, my daughter. This is one of the biggest motivation right now. And I think I make everything for my family. Every fight I go in this, it's the same situation, I go in the ring, I give my best performance, I fight for my fans, This is the best thing what I can make, And no, I have no pressure. The fans will say this, where's Kabayel? Look in the rankings. I had to say myself, I'm the biggest fighter, I'm good, The fans will say Kabayel is good or he's not good.
Alexander Usyk can be crowned right here, right now. He is undisputed for a third time.
I think Usyk, this is the best fight for me. I think also for the fans. I say this more time. We have so much Ukrainian people in Germany. It's easy to sell out the tickets in 1 week. We can go to the stadium, the biggest stadium in Germany. I have a big community also here, and why not? I think for the fans, this is the biggest matchup right now. But yeah, first about Damian, and after we can talk.
Well, a man on a mission and a man desperate for the challenge of Alexander Usyk. This a massive opportunity for both Damian Knyba and Agit Kabayel. Remember, you can catch all of our great boxing content in Locker Room on the DAZN platform, including expert analysis from inside the ring, Unwrapped for a look back at the best moments from fight week in the sport, as well as Spotlight, who went behind the scenes with Moses Salma on his January 24th clash with Jermaine Franklin. So much on the DAZN platform. Don't miss any of this. But yeah, as I say, a huge opportunity. It really is for both of the guys you can see pictured. Agit Kabayel, Damian Knyba, with the Ring Magazine rankings where he's placed. Kabayel cannot afford any slip-ups here. Damian Knyba, I guess he comes into this relatively unknown. As I say, people in the trade are aware of his ability. Very good fighter, but goes in this with no stress, if you like. Pressure's off, pressure all on Agit Kabayel, the homecoming, as we've mentioned. Well, we are ready for the main event presser. So let's throw it back over to our MC.
Ja, so, liebe Medienvertreter, liebe Boxsportfreunde, wir sind zurück mit dem zweiten Teil der Pressekonferenz. Bevor wir damit aber loslegen, möchte ich die Gelegenheit nutzen. Sie alle haben es mitbekommen vor einigen Tagen. Es gab einen katastrophalen Autounfall in Nigeria unter Beteiligung einiger prominenter Boxer. Und Queensberry Promotions und alle, die hier beteiligt sind an dieser Veranstaltung, möchten die Chance nutzen, unser tiefes Beileid allen Betroffenen dieses furchtbaren Unfalls auszudrücken. Vielen Dank. Wir kommen nun zum zweiten Teil unserer Pressekonferenz. Ich möchte Ihnen die bereits anwesenden Protagonisten hier auf der Bühne kurz vorstellen. Zu Ihrer Linken Spencer Brown von Gold Star Promotions. Er ist der Manager
Spencer Brown
von Agit Kabayel,
on the left, the sports promoter, and works very closely with Agit, of course. And beside him is George Warren from Queensberry Promotions. And on my left, Michael Rideau, the Executive Vice President from DAZN, who is really key person to make sure that this venue becomes the home of boxing in the future. And on your right, we have Lukas Korzeniowski, the manager of Damian Knyba, and of course also the translator who's going to translate into Polish or any questions from Polish. But of course, the press conference would not be a press conference without the two protagonists. So I'd like to introduce, first of all, the challenger from Poland with 17 fights, all knockouts, Daniel Knyba. And beside him, we have also the interim WBC champion in heavyweight, 26 fights, 26 victories, 18 knockouts from Bochum, Agit Kabayel. And I'm going to ask one or two questions to the various people on the stage here before I open it up for you. So for all of you, first of all, George Warren, Queensberry CEO, I'd like to start with you, if that's possible. This is the first Queensberry show in Germany, and right away, 13,000 seat venue is sold out inside 5 days. That's really a promoter's dream, is it not?
Thank you to all the fans that bought tickets. Thank you to this guy. In 3 days, sold that venue out. If only it was bigger, I think we would have done more tickets, but it's great to be in Germany. We're proud to be here at Queensberry, and this guy he's the cornerstone to building back German boxing to its great heydays of the early 2000s. You know, I remember when the heavyweights were completely dominated by German boxing, and Agit has the capabilities. He has everything about him. He is a promoter's dream, as you just said. So there is without a doubt a big opportunity for German boxing and a big opportunity for Agit to be the guy that drives it forward.
Rumor has it that Queensberry wants to keep a foot in the German market and put on more shows here from now on going forward. Is that true? And what's the importance of this event and the success it might have for those plans going forward?
Yeah, I mean, look, this is the first of many we hope to be doing, and with our partners at Gold Star in particular. You know, Spencer and I have spoken for a number of months, probably now the best part of 18 months actually, about what we believe we can do in Germany. And, you know, as I said, Agit's central to that. But first he has to win. This is a dangerous fight. Damian's unbeaten. He's coming here to defend that unbeaten record, and he's coming here to try and take this title. You know, it's the WBC Interim Heavyweight Championship. The guy that holds this will be fighting for the full title this year. That's what's got to happen. You know, Alexander Usyk was, I think he was permitted a voluntary defence at the convention, but our job on Monday will be to be putting a significant amount of pressure on the WBC to ensure that Agit, if he wins this, comes through and gets the shot for the full title. In the summer, we want to go to a soccer stadium, we want to build on the success of this event, and we want to keep building German boxing back up to what it used to be.
That's a very interesting take, George. And if you put that pressure on the WBC and that fight might happen, where would that soccer stadium be? Will it be a soccer stadium in England or a soccer stadium in Germany?
I want to do it here. That's the plan. That's what we want to try and deliver. Obviously, we need, you know, numbers need to make sense. We need performances. Like I say, the most important thing is Saturday night. We are going to get an amazing event. We're going to get an unbelievable spectacle, an unbelievable atmosphere. Again, just to echo what I said before, thank you to all the fans for buying tickets. Thank you to all the fans that are going to tune in and watch a great event on Saturday night. Live and exclusive on DAZN worldwide as well. Buy this event, support Agit, help us deliver what we think we can in Germany and make this a powerhouse again for the sport.
Spencer Brown, Gold Star Promotions, manager of Agit. Agit has never lacked the discipline. He has never lacked the skills. What he has always lacked was the support of the media, the mainstream media, in all those years. Now, that seemed to have changed. We saw him sitting in talk shows, in TV. There's a big sellout, one of the biggest arenas in Germany. What does that make with a fighter, and what does it do for his career going forward?
Well, the more wins you get and the bigger you become, everything falls into line. It's a natural progression. I mean, I can't reiterate anything else that George said. And we feel that you know, Agit is the next well, he is. He's a German superstar at the moment, but he's going to come to another level soon. He's a big, handsome Charlie. He's a great fighter. He talks well. He's a very, very nice guy. He's got a great fan base. His team are unbelievable. He's got a great team. And it's a pleasure, to be honest, it's a pleasure to work with them as well. So with that, you can only go one way, and that's up. But he's got one step in front of him, and that's Saturday night. And that's a guy from Poland who's 6'9". He's got the longest reach in boxing. 18 undefeated wins, so he's got a mountain to climb on Saturday, but I'm sure he'll climb that mountain. He'll get up there. I've got great faith in this guy. He is so focused. He's one of the most focused men I've seen in boxing. He's very focused. He's very professional. His trainer doesn't leave anything to fruition, and they've got it right. And he's got to be on his A game, the Polish guy, on Saturday. Otherwise, you know, he's going to be in trouble. Thank you.
Dann kommen wir zu dir, Agit. Ich habe gerade mit deinem Manager drüber gesprochen.
I've just spoken to your manager, and he said this time the media is in on the game. We see you in talk shows and television. Open a newspaper, we see your face. The whole venue is sold out inside a few days. Your fan base is there, present and all behind you. But of course now we've got so many fights ahead of you. Is that maybe a little bit too much at once? You know, that on this great fight on Saturday, that you have to also at the same time look beyond that to what's coming in the future? Well, great. Thanks for the question. But first of all, I'd like to thank you all for coming. Thank you all for putting some new life into German boxing. Thank you for the promotion. Thank you for the support also from my colleagues. But as you said, yes, media make a lot. Media report on this and also report about the teams that are coming up in the future. But as I said, these things are questions for the future. At the moment, my team is focused on Saturday. We're preparing for Saturday. Anything that happens after that will happen after that. We look at the media, we're glad of media support and media promotion, but still we're not going to be influenced by the media too much. We're focused on Saturday, and only then will we start thinking of the rest. No, and as you said, your opponent is not a pushover. He's unbeaten, and he is such a great arm reach and height. How do you prepare for an opponent like that? I think it's not so easy to find a sparring partner who can simulate his characteristics. Well, I have to express my thanks to my coach in that regard. You know, he always looks for the right sparring partner according to the opponent. I've had some people who are bigger, taller actually than he is, and I'd like to again thank my sparring partner. But nevertheless, every fight, every bout is something new. I always try to bring out the best of myself. I don't say, well, I'm going to have to be as good as I was the last time when I won. No, I have to be better than I was the last time. Even though I won then, I see the challenges, I look for the challenges in myself. And the last three fights, now I was the underdog, now I'm the favorite. But again, I didn't really see that in the last three fights, actually. I never thought I was the underdog. I realized what the task at hand was to be in each case. We wanted to win, we intended to win, we were going to win, and that's what we did. And that's what we're going to do on Saturday too. Okay, question for Daniel. We we were talking about future fights for Agit after Saturday. Now, I mean not the team of Agit, but maybe the media and the public, that they maybe underestimate him in this regard. And was that a mistake? Yes, I also have that feeling. The media don't take me so seriously, but I can't say the same about Agit. He does respect me, he takes me seriously, and I in turn have great respect for him. He was also in my situation as the underdog, but now I'm in his position, the position he used to hold. I'm the underdog, so he knows my situation. But on Saturday, I'm going to show you everything I can do, and I'm going to give it my all and be the best fighter I can possibly be. Okay, now, Damian, we're going to talk about the fight itself. You know, you as a long, tall guy, you like to keep distance. Agit is the opposite. He likes to get close and looks for the close-up fight. What do you think the fight's going to be on Saturday?
No myślę, że Agit na pewno będzie próbował bardzo mocno zepchnąć mnie do defensywy, tak jak w poprzednich walkach, ale no co, mamy przygotowany game plan, którego też no nie chcę na pewno zdradzać. No co, na pewno powiem, że będzie to mega ciekawa walka, mega emocjonująca walka, także no co, no nie mogę się doczekać.
Well, what shall I say? Agit will be defensive, I presume, and I'm prepared for that. But we do have a good and strong game plan, but I don't want to betray too much about it. You're going to see it soon enough on Saturday. But at all events, it's going to be a very interesting and extremely emotional bout, and you're going to see that on Saturday, as I said.
Many times in the last couple of days. How important is this show here in the German market for DAZN as a platform and as the self-labeled home of boxing?
Hi everybody, thanks so much for turning out today. Look, as George and Spencer have already said, this is massive, not only for us, but also boxing in Germany. For too long, it's been called a sleeping giant. I was actually here in 2015, the last really big fight when Tyson Fury defeated Vladimir Klitschko. It's been too long. We believe Agit is the man to really kickstart this new wave, this new era of boxing in Germany. But I also don't want to discredit the guy sitting to my right. He's undefeated. We could have given Agit a bit of a layup for this start here. But this man is coming to create some history of his own. Undefeated. It's going to be a brilliant fight. I really hope you all tune in and support this event. It's live on DAZN this Saturday night. It's available on pay-per-view in Germany, but as part of your subscription around the world.
You know, to market big fights, Michael, you always have to have heroes and you have to tell the stories. And in Germany, we have had our heroes with Schmeling and Maske and Schulz and Abraham and so on, and the Klitschkos. We have heard that Agit can be that, and we know that Agit can be that hero who carries boxing into that, you know, next era, next golden era here in Germany. But someone has to tell the story. What is DAZN planning to do with a guy like Agit and all those other guys, for that matter, too, who are on the undercard?
Yeah, I think you've already seen it, that we have an incredibly strong platform here in Germany. And we've been keen to get Agit to as many events as possible, not just boxing events, but particularly football events. We're incredibly strong here in football in Germany. In fact, Agit came to the Champions League final as a guest of ours last season, and he was mobbed. And that was the real sign that this guy is not just a boxing star, he's a global sporting superstar. And that's really our intention, is to just not make him a German star, a global superstar. That starts on Saturday night, and as George says, that will then begin a journey of incredibly big fights, and hopefully culminating in ultimately fighting for the sort of main WBC world title.
Next question, and this will be the last one from me. After that, I'll open it up for you in the media. Łukasz Kovnacny, we have talked a lot about where a win from Agit would put Agit in the future. Where would a win from Damian put him in the heavyweight title picture, or in the heavyweight picture in boxing?
First and foremost, I would like to thank everybody for coming out, George and Frank and the whole Queensberry team for giving us this opportunity, as well as Top Rank for helping Damian and our team to get to this moment. We've been here for waiting to get to this moment for not quite a long time, but we've been getting here consistently. I also want to thank the DAZN and the platform to give us a chance to show Damian's skills. I think a lot of people are overlooking Damian. I think the DAZN's going to have to change their plan, and might have to switch it over from Germany to Poland. After this fight, I think the rematch should be brought back to Poland, give the DAZN a new platform that we could shine, because we'll definitely sell out the stadiums over there as well. We'll bring it back to New York, where the Poles have a huge home, and bring it back to the Galata days. So again, thank you for everybody coming. I think this is a great fight for Damian. I hope Kabayel's not overlooking him. Damian is the underdog, just same as Agit was many times. I think it's our time to shine, and it's going to be a great night, Saturday night. So make sure you guys come out. It's going to be a lot of fireworks.
Thank you very much. Vielen Dank, Łukasz Kovnacny. Wir werden natürlich auch gleich von den beiden Hauptkämpfern.
And now, of course, we're going to hear more from the main fighters, but I'd like, first of all, to hand over to you to ask any questions you may have. The microphone is going around.
For Boxing Nation. Agit, you talk about the Klitschko era and growing up in that and seeing what that impact was here in Germany. What does the Kabayel era look like for you?
Auf Englisch, ne?
Du kannst auch auf Deutsch. Ich kann übersetzen, wenn du möchtest. Also was dir lieber ist.
As I said, this is my own era. The Kabayel era is the new generation. You can see that yourself, you know. How the media is coming on board. We've invited people, and it started off maybe even not so strong, but we still sold out so quickly. We got so much interest and generated that so easily and so quickly. So I'm writing my own story, and we're only at the beginning of the journey now, but I'm ready to go, so let's go.
David, the tickets that were sold here were sold out inside of 2 days. It's going to be a packed arena. The fans will be against you. The odds makers are against you. What do you bring in Saturday night for the Polish fans who are with you?
No, dla mnie to jest tylko dodatkowa motywacja, także no nic, oglądajcie mnie i wspierajcie. Mówię do polskich kibiców, przede wszystkim przed telewizorami, bo wiem, że no nie dało się kupić za dużo biletów, ale no nic, pokażę polską siłę w sobotę.
For me, it's simply additional motivation. It's extra motivation to go the extra mile. I know I'm getting the Polish support, so just simply be there. Give me your support, whether live or through TV. Unfortunately, not everybody could get tickets to be at the venue, but on Saturday I'm going to show the power of Poland and have a look and see what I can do.
Wer hat die nächste Frage?
I'm Ranzan Hazi from Kurdistan TV. My question for Agit. My question is, how important is the support of the people of Kurdistan to you, knowing that people of all ages, young and old, are praying for your success in the upcoming game?
Also, sagte gerade, mir polnisch Power, but
You know, he talked about, Damian talked about Polish power, but let's not forget Kurdish power. That's a totally different source of power, and I'm going to use it. And first of all, to answer your question, yes, I'm very proud to have such great support from my homeland. And the people from Kurdistan, they support me. That's just an incredible and undescribable feeling. You know, I was born in Germany, I grew up in Germany, but still I have my Kurdish genes and I have these roots, and both countries grow together in my heart, and it's just an indescribable feeling. And on Saturday we're going to see whether Kurdish power or Polish power has most force.
Weitere Fragen?
Any more questions?
Nicht so schüchtern.
Don't be shy, come on.
Gut, wenn das nicht der Fall ist, dann
okay, if there are no further questions, then we can maybe make space on the stage here for the face-offs. And we're going to see any further questions? No, just a last call? No. Okay, now space for Agit Kabayel and Damian Knyba in their face-off.
But there you have it. Two extremely confident fighters and teams. George Warren, Spencer Brown have big plans for Agit Kabayel. They're talking potential stadium fights down the line. But he has a very, very game opponent in front of him in Damian Knyba. Says the press have underestimated him. But he knows Agit Kabayel hasn't. He knows what a good fighter he is. It's a massive opportunity for both here. Alexander Usyk, the prize, the goal for both men here. This man here says he's been writing his own story, creating his own legacy, and now he's going to be the next star of this new wave of heavyweights coming through. But look at the giant, Damian Knyba, towering over the German Kabayel. Believes this is his destiny to push on and realize a dream. Sold out in 3 days. So it just shows the appetite of boxing here in Germany. Agit Kabayel, Damian Knyba, WBC interim heavyweight title on the line. This is just one of over 185 fight nights live on DAZN each year. And now you can upgrade your experience with the new Ultimate plan. Join Ultimate and get a minimum of 12 pay-per-view events every year, included at no extra cost. All the unmissable events coming up on DAZN, starting with Teofimo Lopez against Shakur Stevenson, live from New York City on January 31st. Head to DAZN.com to sign up today. Well, that is the press conference done and dusted. Make sure you join us tomorrow, 6 p.m. local time, 5 p.m. GMT, as the fighters hit the scales for tomorrow's weigh-in ahead of Saturday night's showdown.